First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is IG and Fusion Light Energy Gain. Man, I got the demonstrations I wanted to upload, but we can't do it right now because I got some other stuff I got to do right now. Got to go take care of some business on top of some business. But anyway, yeah, so I went to the post office, just came back from the building way over there, and got some much needed information that I needed about shipping overseas. So what was going on was the reason why a tracking number from United States Postal Service was kind of hard to track was because everybody's shipping each other's stuff. That's what's going on. So if you notice, if you got stuff from Amazon, sometimes it doesn't come from Amazon, it'll come from United States Postal Service. I had stuff come to me by the United States Postal Service. I had stuff come to me by UPS. I had stuff to me come by FedEx. Because what happens is other companies are using each other's shipping carriers. So that's what they're doing. But this also causes a little confusion. Because the reason why it causes confusion, because if I ship something by United States Postal Service, I'm expecting to be delivered by United States Postal Service. And sometimes it doesn't happen. Sometimes it's basically delivered by another carrier. And the carrier, we got no way of getting that updated information unless the customer gives it to us. So that makes it a little bit tricky, because that means we have to depend on the customer to send over that tracking number. That's what we have to do. So what we're going to have to do is contact PayPal, explain to them, I'm pretty sure they already know about this whole shipping swap off thing, and have to have the customer reliable for giving up the information on the tracking number. Tracking number is going to have to be provided. So you have to change your policy, because again, we could do shipping overseas, but again, it makes it interesting, because I said before that when we would drop something off by UPS, it would land by UPS. But now shipping carriers are sharing each other's load, so that means that something that may go off by UPS might end with FedEx. So that way, I can see why the numbers go black once they ship over, because again, if they hand it to another shipping carrier, well, then there's that. Okay, so definitely, I don't know how that would make me responsible in any way. That would be up to the shipping carrier, which means once I ship it out, we got a policy we're going to be putting up. Mind you, it's up to you to go in and basically provide the tracking number, or the new tracking number you're going to receive, or get that information on your end. So we'll put that policy in today, so that way we can be covered and the customer is fully aware that we're not responsible for that part. But again, if we ship it by United States Postal Service, that's what it's being shipped by, and when it reaches your country, they decide to give it to another carrier, that isn't our problem. We have no way to track something like that, because again, we didn't ship it by that carrier. That means you would have that information. So we got to go talk to PayPal. So we're covered on this. So I guess we're going to have either me or one of my lawyers reach out to the legal department so we can get this all in writing before we go down that road. I didn't even know that. Now I knew some of it, because when I order from Amazon, I got packages that come in from the United States Postal Service. So I'm like, how in the world, if I order from Amazon, I pay for Prime service, it's supposed to be all about the shipping and everything, and I got packages coming in by United States Postal Service. Don't get me wrong, I like United States Postal Service, but sometimes they deliver on Sunday, which again, is something else I'm not used to seeing. So if I'm not taking care of business, I can literally walk upon a package or have somebody take my package, because they'll leave it out in the open because it's on a Sunday and no one's there to put it in the mailroom. So I'm stuck on that. And I've seen packages coming by UPS, FedEx, and I'm like, wait a minute, it's supposed to be by Amazon? But that's what happens. They're handing off their packages to other carriers. That's why it's hard to track stuff. So we're going to ship overseas, which I have no problem paying for it and doing for free, but I should not be responsible if UPS or any company carrier hands it off to another carrier and they don't update us with the tracking numbers, which they should. That becomes another headache for me. Why did they start doing that? Come on. Why did they start doing that? That's an absolute headache. I thought these shipping carriers were supposed to be in competition with each other. Now you're like handing off packages to other shipping carriers? How does that even work? How do you find your stuff? You figure that out. I can understand we had it in COVID. Things were like a little bit overwhelming for some shipping carriers. But when you're handing stuff off to other companies, how are we exchanging information so I can get that tracking number? Because I'm going to tell you something. One of the things I like about Amazon is when that little truck pops up, the little GPS truck, and you can go and you can see where your package is coming and how many stops it has to go. That helps me out because the door locks at a certain time, and as long as I can track that little truck where it's at, I know where my stuff is at. But they send it by UPS. UPS doesn't have the truck. So I don't know where this package is going to come in, where it's going to land at. So I'm pretty much, I got to be downstairs most of the time when I could be working, looking for this package. If they set it outside, which they do, someone's going to take it. I lost so much stuff in the last couple of days when I was there. I lost freaking CPUs and freaking power supplies and all kinds of stuff. I couldn't figure out why I was losing so much stuff. Then I realized that Amazon was giving it to UPS, and UPS was turning around UPS for Postal Service, and Postal Service left it clearly outside. I literally found a power drill outside. Anybody could have walked and took it. Anybody. You know, you could have took it with you and put one of those stickers up there. They just leave it out there on the side of the building. So, with that being said, that's what's going on. Other carriers are using other carriers. So if you send something, hopefully it goes by that carrier. Now this is the jacked up part for business owners. We can track the package. Once it leaves United States, if they're continuing to use United States Postal Service, we can continue to track it till it reaches destination. If they switch it over to another carrier, it makes it hard for us to find it. So that means that I'm going to have to spend money for overseas to call post office overseas. Mind you, for customers who say, oh, just call overseas. We pay that bill. We pay for shipping. We pay for insurance. We pay for all of that. And then I got to turn around and I got to raise my phone bill to contact them over there to figure out where your package is at. Because for some strange reason, United States Postal Service handed it off to another carrier, knowing darn well how are we going to track this information. And if they're going to hand it to another carrier for United States Postal Service, how about you update it on our end so we know who you handed it off to? Because that makes it impossible. So yeah, that's what's going on. I told you something was wrong. I've been shipping stuff overseas for years. So if you're going to tell me that once a package reaches England, we can't track it, it's invisible, that's all you're going to give me, it has to be more than that. There has to be a reason why a package just completely goes invisible once our company ships it over to England. Where did it go? No, you handed it to another carrier. For some reason, you guys didn't exchange that information, and packages, whoop, disappeared. So for the customer who got mad and ranted at me and said I was all these things at the end of the day, this is what happened. And you came out and snapped at me. After I paid for the money for the shipping and everything else, and turn around, work hard to make a good product, they get treated like that. This is the reason why people, I'm inching closer and closer to B2B, B2B, because of that nonsense at the end of the day. But I can't blame one person for everybody. It just starts to get that way when options start popping up on the table that you don't have to go in that direction anymore. You can go into a different direction. Ugh. But those companies make it rough for the smaller companies. I do business with a corporation. They got their own shipping carrier. Or they got some kind of perks for one of these big shipping companies. So they go send us the labels. That's all they did. Pay for everything. Send us the labels, we print them up, they come pick it up, that's it. Only thing I'm responsible is to make sure that they can pick up that package when it reaches there. That's it, we're done. That's all I gotta do. So, we're gonna have to put this policy on there, talk to PayPal, because PayPal's not going to claim me responsibility for this mess, because that's exactly what they'll do. They'll sit there and say, oh, package never reached destination, and they'll hit me with a $300, $400 charge and say it's my fault. So it's my fault that a shipping carrier handed it off to another shipping carrier and didn't update their information on the tracking number from the shipping carrier they sent it to. That's my fault. Man, I'm going to be in and out of court all day. And yeah, I'll win every single one of them. Because again, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard. How do you hand off information? Don't give off information, don't put in any new information. How are we supposed to figure this out? All right, people, I'm done. I got to go take care of some business up in this area. And that's it. I just had to put that out there. Boy, it's frustrating, boy. I tell you, business is frustrating. But put in God's hands, that's what we do. All right, got to go.